Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. The federal budget is revealed and it's heavy on natural resources.
This is a big flashing light on Canada saying, yeah, we're here and we can deliver.
Some say this is big while others are taking a more measured response. Plus another disappointing month for cross-border traffic at the International Bridge in the Soo. And a fitting honor to those who serve or have served our country.
We're putting down, it's a durable product. It's called thermoplastic. So we mix it up.
We'll introduce you to the individuals paving the way this year to help us pay tribute.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Prime Minister Mark Carney has tabled his first budget, which is focused on driving economic growth, but also projects a deficit that is billions of dollars larger than what was forecast a year ago.
The budget I present today comes at a time of profound change, a time to build. The world is undergoing a series of fundamental shifts at a speed, scale, and scope not seen since the fall of the Berlin Wall.
The finance minister says the government is choosing to prioritize generational investments over slashing the deficit, which is projected to be $78.3 billion in the 2025-26 fiscal year. Overall, the budget includes $32.5 billion of net new capital spending over 5 years, including new infrastructure as well as productivity and competitiveness measures. The natural resources sector is a big employer clearly here in Northern Ontario, and while some are calling today's news from Parliament Hill a big win, others are taking a more measured response. The Mining Association of Canada is applauding measures unveiled in the budget, specifically those they say will accelerate investments and make them more competitive.
This is a big flashing light on Canada saying, yeah, we're here and we can deliver.
Among the highlights, they're focused on $2 billion over 5 years to create a critical minerals sovereign fund, expanding the eligibility for the critical mineral exploration tax credit to include 12 new minerals, and almost $372 million towards a first and last mile fund that would support the development of critical minerals projects and supply chains. In this era of trade wars and economic uncertainty, Grattan says the Prime Minister appears to be banking on natural resources.
I know that Europe would like to wean itself off. They import a lot of nickel from Russia. Why don't they import it from us instead? We produce a lot of nickel in Sudbury and in Canada generally.
It's hard to be too optimistic right now. That said, there were some measures in the budget today that will offer some relief.
Derek Nybor represents the Forest Products Association of Canada, an industry that has been hit hard as of late. With softwood lumber duties at 45%, a soft market in the U.S., and 2,000 layoffs across Canada in the last few weeks, the feeling is more needs to be done. They're welcoming commitments to address regulatory duplication between the federal and provincial governments and the inclusion of investment tax credits for biomass projects.
But the biggest priority for the sector is to see Canada make progress at that negotiating table with the Americans to ensure we get some kind of a deal that works for Canada on lumber.
For both sectors and both men, it comes down to the customer base, making sure someone is ready to buy.
If we could sell another half $500 million to Japan or another $1 billion to China, that's going to be incremental in growth. But you know, it's $30 billion that we're selling annually to the United States.
It's also a geopolitical imperative. Like our mining sector and the West's mining sector, I mean, we're vulnerable because of what China's done and how China now monopolizes the production of many minerals and metals. This budget and last week's announcement at the G7 are setting us on a course to recover and to regain some of our lost ground and to position Canadian mining as a go-to jurisdiction for the US and for our allies in Europe and in Asia.
In other news, cross-border traffic again down in October over the International Bridge into Ste. Marie compared to this time last year. One-way crossings are down in each category that the Sault Ste. Marie Bridge Authority tracks. The decline relative to last October is significant, a 23% drop overall. The two categories with the biggest dips are also those with the lion's share of crossings. Full fare passenger cars and commuter fare vehicles amount for over 90% of the 75,000 crossings. They saw 25 25 and 22% drops last month, respectively. It's been a common theme across 2025, where most months have seen declining numbers. Sudbury police say they're looking for a man breaching his release order. They add 41-year-old Michael Gould is a violent, high-risk offender. Gould is charged with numerous violent drug and property-related offenses, including drug trafficking, assault with a weapon, and break and enter. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. The driver in a dangerous near miss near a North Bay school has been arrested. Police are thanking the public for help in catching the person who nearly struck 3 students Friday morning near St. Joseph's Scholard Hall. The driver had been observed speeding through a parking lot, almost hitting the students in a nearby pole. The young person behind the wheel is being charged with dangerous driving. A Sudbury driver earned a $490 fine for passing a school bus yesterday morning. Sudbury police sharing this video on social media showing the vehicle in question driving past the stopped school bus in Valcarin. As it was a first offense, the fine was just a shy of $500, but police say subsequent convictions can result in fines of up to $4,000 and 6 months behind bars. The province has given municipalities until November 14th to turn off their speed cameras. But some communities like Sudbury feel the details are still scarce on how exactly the province will help. CTV's Angela Campbell reports.
When these automated speed enforcement cameras are removed next week, it's unclear what traffic calming measures will be implemented instead.
It changed the way people drive. It changed their behaviors on our roads. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop trying. We'll still be using other measures where it's applicable to try to make our roads as safe as possible. 6
cameras have been used in different locations across Sudbury since March 2024. It generated $750,000 net revenue that first year, and Rocca says another $2.4 million in gross revenue this year. Premier Doug Ford has called the cameras a cash grab by municipalities, prompting provincial legislation banning them. The Ministry of Transportation has promised to help municipalities.
The province has said that they will be putting out funding for municipalities to tap into to be able to implement road safety measures, but they haven't put any details out at this point, so we're not exactly sure what that's going to be.
Once the cameras are removed, Rocca says the city will still implement other types of traffic calming measures, but there are challenges on roadways like Municipal Road 80, used by heavy truck traffic.
Vertical traffic calming measures like speed humps are not appropriate to be used on the road. That with all the heavy truck traffic we expect. So on those roads, we're going to have to look at other kinds of measures, and likely we'll be looking to our partners like Greater Sudbury Police Services for additional enforcement activities for them to try to keep drivers driving the speed limit in these areas.
The city is working through contract details with its legal team and its partners in the ASE camera program, including the equipment supplier. Rocca says there's no indication the province will help with those contracts. But he also reminds residents that the cameras will be working right up until November 14th. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Near North District School Board has confirmed it has received the scathing report from the Ministry of Education we reported on last week. The report outlines major issues with the board and trustees' handling of the building of a new high school in Parry Sound and failing to communicate delays in construction. To start the school year, high school students were forced into online learning before being allowed into a former high school. In a written statement sent today, the board chair Ashley St. Pierre writes, "The board acknowledges receipt of the ministry's report and affirms its commitment to promptly address all identified items. Actions in alignment with the minister's direction have already commenced." The 33-page report listed 17 recommendations, including education for trustees on their roles and responsibilities, and board meetings, agendas, and minutes being posted online. It also recommends a third party conduct the performance review for Director of Education Craig Miles, who was involved in his own reviews and who received a 37% pay increase over 4 years. More questions tonight about Ontario's controversial Skills Development Fund, including did the Job Training Fund give millions of dollars to a company tied to a strip club? CTV's John Woodward digs into what the records show.
Adult entertainment spaces / wedding venues Can't make this up.
A surprising exchange in Ontario's legislature to date based on a new report about this club and the province's controversial $2.5 billion skills development fund.
Did the Premier actually give $10 million of taxpayer money to the owners of a strip club?
The Minister of Labour.
No. To get from government money to this club is going to take a couple steps, so bear with us.
The first, records show the Labour Ministry gave about $9.8 million in grants to a numbered company with the same director as an agency called the Social Equality and Inclusion Centre. That says it supports women re-entering the workforce and provides retraining to women who may need to enter a new line of work. According to an article in the Trillium, that agency was partners in applying for the Skills Development Fund with the Toronto Event Centre and Grand Bazaar, run by Zlatko Starkovsky. He's operated an event venue out of the Horticulture Building on Toronto's exhibition grounds for at least a decade. In September this year, Starkovsky opened up FYE Ultra Club, which describes itself on social media as a nightclub for those where discretion is a must. City staff licensed it as an adult entertainment club, a category often used for strip clubs. In a statement, Starkovsky said there are no strippers there, and no SDF funding has been used for any purpose related to FYE Ultra Club, including the training and compensation of any burlesque dancers, aerialists, or any performers involved in the new FYE Ultra Club project. While the Social Equality and Inclusion Centre says it has not been and is not involved in the new FYE Ultra Club pilot entertainment project in any training and financial capacity. All of this as Labour Minister David Piccini faces an Integrity Commissioner complaint over the Skills Development Fund, and he's facing his third week of resignation calls.
Every day we have more headlines. I don't understand. I have been asking myself why this Minister of Labour is still sitting in his seat and why the Premier hasn't fired him.
That is 100% absolutely false. Just dig into it, do your due diligence, and you'll find that. It may sound real, good theatrics for the Liberals, but it's absolutely false. We're training over 700,000 people. Our goal is to hit 1 million people and give them an opportunity that they might otherwise not have.
Hoping the critics of the fund will move on. John Woodward, CTV News.
Sudbury police are warning residents of scam calls using the GSPS non-emergency phone number. They're advising residents not to share personal information, hang up, and not to redial automatically. Instead, contact police through the trusted contact details. If contacting the police by non-emergency line, manually type the number into your keypad. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, look at the current conditions and a little bit of everything at this hour. Kapuskasing, Timmins, Sudbury, Timiskaming Shores, Chapleau, pretty cool. And then it warms up everywhere else, pretty much along the lakeshore lines, 7, 8, 8, 10 down at Parry Sound is our hotspot at the moment. We'll have details coming up after the break.
Get ready for some wet weather in the form of snow or rain. Our forecast radar heading into the overnight right now. This is what it's going to look like by about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Again, some rain, some snow, some accumulation across northeastern Ontario, and a dip in some of the temperatures as well. That trend will continue. We'll get a bit of a break on Thursday. That trend will continue on Friday. How about the 7-day numbers now? Sudbury Nickel Belt. Sleet tomorrow, so showers, flurries, 2 centimeters of snow, 2 degrees, 3 on Thursday. Friday, rain snow mix at 1, 0 Saturday, sunshine. Sunday, chance of flurries at 1, -3 Monday with the chance of flurries. And of course, Remembrance Day just days away next Tuesday. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, periods of rain tomorrow at 6, 6 on Thursday, sun and cloud. Friday, rain snow mix at 2, 1 Saturday, some sun and cloud. Sunday, chance of flurries at 2 and 0 Monday with sun and cloud. Take a look at the variation in temperatures as well. Pretty well all over the road for the next week. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of sleet at 40% tomorrow. 3 your expected high, but -11 the overnight low. 1 on Thursday, periods of snow on Friday at -4, -3 Saturday, sun and cloud. Sunday, chance of flurries, and again, risk of flurries on Monday as well. The odd sunny break with a high of -5, but again, those -9, -10, -11 overnight lows. Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, periods of rain, snow for tomorrow at 4. 2 Thursdays, sunny skies. Friday, periods of rain, snow again, -1. -2 Saturday, sunshine there. Sunday, chance of flurries, more of the same. Monday, -1 and -3, your expected daytime highs. Normally at this time of the year, you should be sitting at around, well, 4 or 5 degrees. So again, below average temperatures. North Bay, West Nipissing, sleet tomorrow, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. 2 degrees, we've got 3 on Thursday with sunshine, periods of rain, snow. 4 on Friday. Saturday, 0 sun and clouds. Sunday, chance of flurries. More of the same on Monday. High of only -3. So again, fluctuation in temperatures and conditions, Ian Campbell. Just a reminder for everyone out there, get those snow tires on because you'll need them in the next little while. We go through that November transition in weather and temperatures. Back to you.
Wise words. Thank you, Rick. Well, a North Bay paving company has been given permission this week to paint Remembrance Day crosswalks all around North Bay. The owner says he's committed to maintaining the crosswalks as a tribute to those who serve and have served our nation. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
David McDonald and his crew have a lot of work to do to get old crosswalks touched up.
We're putting down, it's a durable product. It's called thermoplastic. So we mix it up.
But not just with any design. They will have Remembrance Day themes on them and will be done in time for the day of commemoration and reflection.
I'm a base brat, so my dad was in the military, so we grew up on bases all over the place.
McDonald successfully introduced the crosswalk concept to local municipalities in the Nipissing district and is giving his time, staff resources, equipment and materials to see them painted over the next few days.
We're donating all these to anybody that wants one that we can put out because Remembrance Day is important.
He also plans to maintain them for the next 5 years.
Very, very special for a veteran to serve for their country, and then with this kind of recognition now, it just lifts the heart up a little bit.
Having already completed 2 of these crosswalks in calendar, McDonald and his crew finished another 3 in front of Bort Longyear Memorial Gardens in North Bay, with the 6th planned in East Ferris later this week.
It's a sign of pride, and it reminds me of why I'm here.
McDonald's father was a CF-101 pilot and an officer for 28 years. His 2 grandfathers also served in World War II. One of them was a motorcycle dispatch.
He crossed another German soldier coming the opposite way. He got off his motorcycle, grabbed his gun, went up to the top of the hill. As the other German soldier was coming up the other side to do the same thing to him, they both waved at each other and went on their way.
And he's hoping these symbols of remembrance will last for years to come.
I'd like to see people looking at the crosswalk and thinking of their relatives that went through the wars.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
And the crosswalks aren't just in Nipissing. These were done in Little Current. It's a partnership between the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 177 and the town of northeastern Manitoulin and the Islands. 2 areas are painted in downtown Little Current, and the Legion says the response has been overwhelmingly positive.
Everybody is very appreciative of the collaboration with the town to make this happen. Very well received, and the same thing, you know, in Sudbury, North Bay, we've had call-outs from all across the country. Everything we do at the Legion is for our communities and for our veterans and the veterans' families. So this it's something that pretty much every member of a Legion has an appreciation for this.
The crosswalks are painted with highway paint, which Deschamps says he's hopeful will last longer. Well, the Sioux Greyhounds have announced a special jersey for Remembrance Day. The team will be wearing these jerseys for the home game this Friday night against the Guelph Storm as a tribute to Canadian veterans and active military personnel. The jerseys are being auctioned off with proceeds supporting the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 25's Poppy Fund. The auction is live on the Greyhounds website and will be open to bidders until 9:30 p.m. Sunday, November 9th. The North Shore Health Network is advising the public that Richards Landing Matthews site will be closed tomorrow. The site is expected to reopen Thursday, November 6th at 8 a.m. Thessalon, Blind River, and Sioux area hospitals will remain open for patient care. Ontario's college support staff have officially ratified the new contract that ended their recent 5-week strike. The Ontario Public Service Employees Union, which represents more than 10,000 workers, says 75% of its membership voted, and of those, 89% voted in favor of the deal with the College Employer Council. The 5-week strike, which ended last month, disrupted services on many campuses and in some cases led to class cancellations. Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Remembering the Ukrainian famine, some students in Sudbury get a unique opportunity. More after this. The Sudbury Catholic District School Board is welcoming the Holodomor National Awareness Tour to its secondary schools this week. CTV's Lindsay Alick has more from St. Benedict's High School in Sudbury's South End.
Approximately 100 students took part in an interactive session aimed at educating students about the genocide that took place in Ukraine between 1932 and 33.
It's a mix of dramatic portrayals of some key individuals who were heroic in the face of oppression 90 years ago, and then allow students to offer their opinion both on those issues as well as what's taking place in our world today, and it really is captivating for them on a couple different levels, ways that we can't achieve in the classroom.
I've never heard about the Holodomor until now, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more because it definitely was censored a lot more than it should have been. But I think it really opened my eyes, and I think I am going to try to learn more about what is happening in this world. It was really well made. They really put it together well. I really enjoyed it, and I think my classmates did as well.
The Canada-Ukraine Foundation developed the National Awareness Tour program in 2014 to foster education and bring awareness. It's estimated more than 70,000 students have taken part from coast to coast to coast.
Students who are the seeds of future leaders and the ones who can make a difference moving forward can understand what happened, why it happened, but also understand the importance of civility, tolerance, equity, how propaganda fits into the equity today, or into the equation today more so to speak, and to understand that they can make a difference if they choose to raise their voices.
The bus will continue its school tour heading to St. Charles College tomorrow and Bishop Alexander on Thursday. The general public also has an opportunity to experience the bus at the Ukrainian Senior Center on Wednesday between 5 and 8 p.m. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
With the holiday season right around the corner and Canada Post workers still on rotating strikes, businesses are starting to consider their options for shipping. CTV's Gates Gorin has more.
It may only be the beginning of November, but Track and Trail owner Bob Schilf is prepping for a rush of holiday online orders. Canada Post won't be part of that process.
We pivoted pretty quick the first time that Canada Post went on strike, and now with the rotating strikes, we've essentially just have lost confidence in Canada Post.
He's now using a private shipping company after this recent strike caused packages to be stranded.
That cost us, obviously, business, where customers were like, well, I'm not getting the packages, and they needed the product. So it was really frustrating that way.
Schilf isn't the only business feeling the effects. Paper Birch Books has seen some inconveniences.
There's been some delays in sending out packages, and we have had to use alternative services at times.
Co-owner Celine Chuang says customers have been understanding of the strike and what workers are trying to do. Paper Birch continues to support Canada Post, using it for most of its online orders.
I think they have shared values with us, and they have a lot of flexibility and willingness to step up for small businesses, even if it means waiting a little bit longer for things to arrive.
The local union says rotating strikes haven't hit larger cities like Edmonton just yet. The strategy seems to be focused on smaller areas where there's a concern those offices will be closed. Still, workers are hoping for a fair resolution.
The people are looking for stability, and they're looking to see that we have a contract of a period of time and to know that we're going to be doing the work. And that's all we really want to do is the work.
So while Schilf is open to returning to Canada Post,
we also want to support, the organization. So, that's to yet be determined.
The ongoing strike may continue to create some uncertainty just as the holiday shopping season begins. Gates Gorin, CTV News, Edmonton.
And before we go tonight, we have a correction to make. The Timmins Santa Claus Parade is set for Saturday, November 15th at 6 p.m. In a story last month, the wrong date was given. This year's parade theme is lights, music, and magic. Once again, the parade is Saturday, November 15th. If you are in the area, make sure you check it out. Always a great time seeing Santa Claus. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Tuesday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.